Here is my messy pantry, and so we're going to go through this here in one of my next videos, and we're going to get this all straightened up. I just grocery shop and I come back and I put it on the shelf. There's a shelf up here. We've got mustard, and there's my coffee, and that's going to last probably to all of 2026. I think I've got one for 2027 then, because I didn't know this was back here. I take collagen, Prego. There's my husband's red cabbage. I also take a daily fiber probiotics. That's from Walmart as well. This was probably one of the most affordable ones, but still not that affordable. I think it was $20. And my daily fiber, that's $19.98 at Walmart. Kitty's Food's right amongst all of it. This is a new food that came out. He actually, I think we're going to see here soon, but he actually throws this up. So it's an allergen reducing formula. It's free of everything. But I think he's throwing this up for some reason. So, ear wipes for Kitty amongst all of our food. And look at the Monstera food. And then there's all of our, if I think this is in another one, look at all of our medical products are right back there. There's the gummies that I bought. Mary Ruth quit making the probiotic for cats, so we got to work on that. Hip and joint. And we got some canned goods. There's some tomatoes and stuff. And paste that I bought for that Minnesota hot dish. I bought double of everything because we ran through all of my homemade pasta sauce, homemade pizza sauce. So when I went and made that Minnesota hot dish, I bought double. So it's time for another Minnesota hot dish. Here's my husband's favorite coleslaw mix, or coleslaw dressing. He hates my homemade. And you see those lovely canned vegetables he loves, and his ranch dressing, and his sliced beets. And yes, he does have manwich. He prefers this over the sloppy joes that I've made all of my life. So even for my family when I was growing up, I made them, and they loved them. He doesn't like it at all. And my sloppy joes are just ketchup and mustard, salt and pepper. Sometimes I'll put a dash of vinegar in it and that. You can put barbecue sauce, whatever, and make up homemade. I learned from a guy in the Army years ago. He had been a cook in the Army, in the mess hall, and he taught me how to make homemade sloppy joes. Growing up, and that my mom and I just made them with ketchup and mustard. So, and it worked out fine, but hubby likes manwich. Some honey and some chocolate spread that he likes for breakfast, and this is all mine. I love Bush's beans. And then maple syrup, my favorite kind, is from Walmart, and then all of his salad toppings. I have roasted pumpkin seeds, and I have dried apples that I eat. And then the shelf of shame, there we have some cookies left from, I think they're Aldi, and some chocolate chip cookies, and we have some jelly beans. We put those in Easter eggs for Easter time. I used to go through a bag of those in an afternoon, but no more sugar, so we're hanging on to them. We have a friend that's coming by at the end of this month, and he's a jelly bean fanatic, so there he is. They're still nice and fresh. Some marshmallows for s'mores this summer. We've got, after a friend sent me a lemon pound cake, I had to have more. So I think I tried to find the one on Amazon and couldn't find it, if that's where I got it from the friend. I'm not sure, but I found these two at Walmart. And then our backups of spaghetti and elbow macaroni that you'll see featured in this video tonight. Candy bars you'll see featured, and down below I just have canning jars, some flour, sugar in that big container that I've had for 2 years for the hummingbirds, and some crackers in case somebody gets sick. So yeah, lots of tea too, if I didn't make that clear. My husband's got 9 boxes of tea because he's sure that they're going to stop making tea, and they might, or there might be a tax on it that he just is not unwilling. We all have price points. I try to make that clear in my videos. We all have price points, and when they're met, we're like, yep, not buying it anymore, and that's just the way it goes until the price goes down. So yes, we'll be going through this. I'll insert some clips of my office as we decluttered and organized that down to nice packages in the closet instead of chaos everywhere. We're donating a lot of stuff, giving away a lot of stuff, and I pretty much sold everything that I'm going to sell. So everything else is giveaway and donate. So we're going to be doing some decluttering and organizing. I think that'll probably be some that either will be live or right when the camera is going. But for now, we'll just insert some clips of things that we did this weekend. Okay, we went to Walmart and did kind of a, I wouldn't say stock up, but I would say the meals that I'm making starting in the end of this month and going through August are going to have a lot of vegetables, probably a lot less meat, and we've been seeing the prices going up on both rice, which I want to serve the vegetables with, and pasta, which every week, no matter what month of the year it is, we have spaghetti. I also make macaroni salads throughout the summer. We are invited to this, that, and the next thing, and I always bring potato salad and macaroni salad. So, in order to buy those products now, because we've steadily been seeing increases in prices on just about everything in the grocery store for quite a while now, and I'll go through some of the changes here as I go over the products we purchased. But I know tonight I went product by product in the store against what our normal monthly grocery list is, where we buy frozen goods or frozen pizza, or we buy dry goods or cereals, or my husband's snack bars for work, butter, margarine, eggs, and every single item in the store, even including our bread, which of course fluctuates all the time. But just everything, the least amount that it's gone up is 30 cents, and the most amount that it has gone up is $1.30. So, and then I can't even remember the math on the candy bars, but we'll go over that. So powdered sugar, the last that I bought powdered sugar, it was $1.24 at Walmart, and today it was $1.86. Now, I think almost everybody, I would imagine, most of the people that follow my channel know, because I'm through demographics, I'm told that a good many, more than half are at least my age, know that powdered sugar and brown sugar and white sugar all come from the same thing. So white sugar is white sugar, brown sugar is white sugar with, I think, molasses in it, and powdered sugar is finely ground white sugar. So it's all coming basically from the same plant, but for some reason it's going up in price. So weather has a lot to do with a lot of the price increases in things that I bought today. So this has gone up like 60 cents since the last time I bought it, but I did price it in the store here within the last 2 or 3 months, and it was not the price that it was today. I had bought light brown sugar here maybe a couple of weeks ago, and it was $1.24, and today I paid $1.68 for each package of brown sugar. So I wanted to stock up on that, and the reason why is because I don't want to, if it continues to go up for weather reasons, I don't know where, I don't know where, if this is, cane sugar, so it's grown in cane fields, and where those cane fields are located. But if weather has anything to do with it, it's going to continue going up. And I just have certain price points in my head, and when it reaches those price points, I'm like, I'm done. And I do want to have brown sugar and powdered sugar and just a granulated sugar available for baking later on this fall. So, and it'll still be good in the house until fall time. So, as I said, I wanted to buy rice because we're going to have a lot of different stir fries or just vegetable dishes all the way up until August. I just constructed a meal plan, a menu plan to take the most advantage of all of the both fresh produce and some of the produce prices. I hope that will go down, like at Walmart or stuff. We will be driving by farm stands either direction we go, when we go to Goodwill, or when we go to Walmart, or when we go to Aldi. So we'll be picking up as many vegetables at good prices as we can, and we'll be eating rice with it. So 5 pounds of this long grain rice was $5.68 a month ago, and today it was $7.64. So we did buy, I think we bought 10 pounds of it. So I will be putting this in the freezer, and I have to read the instructions about how long to keep it in the freezer, just to make sure that there's no bugs or anything like that. Sometimes you will get weevils or flour or rice bugs or whatever, and I've always just put it in the refrigerator or freezer if we're not planning on using it right away. So I have to look up the instructions on when to take it out of the freezer. These were still $1.52 a pound, but that's very expensive. I mean, very expensive. When I looked at my receipt from last year at this time, these were 98 cents a pound. So when you look at $1.50, $1.52 a pound, that's, you know, crazy. And these aren't even as big as the ones last year. I mean, I looked at these tonight and I'm like, they're the half the size. But there you have it. That's gone up in price. So, and I don't know where these are from because I don't have a sticker on them. We did buy more of this boil in a bag. We also like that. So if we have, you know, this summer, if we have meals that, you know, instead of going out and eating, if we're just on a time crunch, we can just put the boil in the bag in as I'm doing up the vegetables. So the stir-fried vegetables or whatever we choose. So we did buy some of that. And this box was for 6 bags. So I don't believe that one had gone up. The last one we bought, though, just had 4 bags in it. So candy for chocolate. So we do like chocolate. I would say I don't eat a lot of it, but probably once a month I want just like one of those smaller Snicker candy bars. And this is going to go up. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but I did commodities in my job. I still consult for commodities. And cocoa and coffee are commodities, and they are going up. They're going to go up exponentially from what they were last year, and it's thought that next year they should go down. But again, this is weather, climate, whatever word you want to use, related. The places that the cocoa beans and coffee beans and stuff, where those are grown and then make the candy bars and the coffee we drink, are experiencing weather issues and drought issues that are causing a lot of problems. So this, once upon a time, was 99 cents. So you could get a strip of candy bars. There's 12 of them. They're snack size. It was 99 cents. Last year, this went up to $1.25, I believe. The beginning of this year was the last time that we bought these, and we paid $1.47. So in January, we paid $1.47 for these, and today these were $2.88. So yeah, $2.88. Now these are something that my husband probably takes to work twice a month, and so he used to take these every single day. That just got way too expensive. And then we give him 2 trial sizes or whatever, snack sizes, and that got to be too expensive. So these are basically for the whole of summer. So June, July, and August. There's 6. They're not the king size. They're just the full size candy bar. So in a vending machine, these particular candy bars go for $2.25. The king size go for $3.25. My husband doesn't use vending machines, so no. But I decided to just get this. We hadn't gotten this for a long time, maybe 2 years. But we went ahead and got this because summer is coming with walks and stuff like that. We go on hikes 2 or 3 times a week, and this is a good snack to have if you're, trying to, stave off hunger. So we got these. These were $6.88 2 weeks ago, because we did price them. We were going to buy them 2 weeks ago, and I said, no, that's too much. And we went back today, and they were $7.88. And I said, that's as much as I'm willing to pay until they go back down, which, of course, we all know they never will. So that will become a luxury to us versus just like, I want a Snickers candy bar for a snack. These things will now be luxuries. I don't know if we ever had luxuries in food before. I think just having food is a luxury. But as far as having something that we ate, yeah, if we had a fairly good piece of salmon that was higher in price than we were used to paying for, that was a luxury. Generally, we would forgo something in order to afford a nice piece of salmon or a $10 chicken. But this is going to be where we just can't have chocolate. It's just going to price us out. So, and these Snickers, $1.88. So we can keep these in an area that's going to keep cool, and these can last the summer. with the occasional one going to my husband's job. Because it gets hot in the factory. He works in a factory. It probably is 120, 130 degrees in there. So they do get dehydrated. Popsicles get offered to them. He doesn't like popsicles, doesn't eat them. Kool-Aid, he doesn't drink that. So, on days like that, and they usually run 2 or 3 days together, definitely, take a Snickers. But yeah, those are probably going to be one of the last things that we've been eating, here and there during the year. Probably one of the last things that we can no longer afford to eat. And coffee too. We had to freeze a container of coffee, and that was, I think it was $10. But if our coffee, if we hadn't froze a container, each container, it's one of the larger containers, lasts this entire year. We only have a cup of coffee each a week. So we only had half a container left, so we've got enough for the rest of this year, and we didn't want to pay $20 for it next year if that's what it comes about. So because then that would rule out us having coffee as well. So we gave up coffee in Downtown Cafe, and of course years ago we gave up Starbucks, and now we're giving up chocolate. So you have to have something, otherwise it's not worth it. So we froze a container of coffee, and that'll be good, they said, in the freezer for a year. So great. Elbow macaroni. So this had gone up 80 cents since 2 weeks ago when we were in there. And I might have a recent video where this was featured. So 3 pounds was $4.88. So we bought 12 of them, 12 pounds. Because we go through a half a box of elbow macaroni in just a little over a month. So we basically have, 6 months worth of elbow macaroni. So to the end of the year, basically. So that had gone up in price. I see they're offering this, which is kind of neat. A half-length spaghetti. I just decided as a novelty, 98 cents. Saves me from breaking it in half. And these were under $4. The spaghetti, you get 4 1-pound packages. I think it was like $3.68. So I do like this, and like I said, I make a lot of salads during the summer. Sometimes our whole meal is a salad, just a macaroni salad, and we never skip having spaghetti. So 2 4-pound boxes of spaghetti. The grains that make spaghetti are going to go up, so obviously this type of food is going to continue to go up. A quarter here, 30 cents here, 40 cents here. When we have weather throughout the world, the way the weather is, in the UK, they're experiencing drought now, and they have temperatures in the 90, upper 80s, 90 degrees already, and they weren't ready for any of that. So I don't know how hot it's going to get here, or how much rain we're going to get, or where we buy the grains that make the pasta, but the prices for pasta are expected to go up. And one of the things that I've always done is when I hear, and definitely having worked with commodities, when I hear that grains are going to go up, corn's going to go up, wheat's going to go up, coffee's going to go up, chocolate's going to go up, I don't go to the store and clear the shelves, but definitely what we're going to eat in the next 3 months or 6 months, I'm going to go buy at the current price. I'm not going to wait it out and then, 3 to 6 months or whenever it decides to happen, I have to pay $2 or $3 or $4 more for everything. So we know that prices are going to go up for whatever reason in the next 6 months. Most people know that. And so I'm just, trying to stave off, our grocery bills already. We used to walk into Walmart and we would walk out with, $80 to $100 of the groceries, and that would buy the things that we needed, the things that were our meal plan for the week. And now we can't get out of the store unless it's $183 to $215. Now, if we're just going in for our staple groceries, that's another thing. I can get in and out with bananas and produce and that for what's featured in my videos, $60, $70, whatever. But I'm buying kind of in weird patterns right now. Right now I'm buying a few pantry items or stuff like that. And the last 3 or 4 hauls has just been produce items. And then soon I will go and price out condiments, ketchup and mustard and salad dressings and stuff like that for the summer. But that's not how I used to shop. I used to go in and just buy it all, load up the cart, and $600 or $800 later leave out. But that's not how I shop anymore. I'm not sure why I shop like this, but I just noticed that I've saved an incredible amount of money. been able to build a pantry up, other than just a condiment pantry, but an actual pantry. Not stockpiling anything, but definitely getting a supply of the ingredients that I know that we're going to be using in the next 3 to 6 months, getting that supply. At the prices that they're noted at now, I wish that I would have got some of these things 3 months ago when they were $1 to $2 less, but I didn't have the money and I didn't do it. So that is the pasta and the rice and the chocolate saga. We got some of these beets. These were on sale. They have a whole section in Walmart with pickled stuff. Pickled onions, pickled beets, pickled carrots. These were $2.88 or $2.28 for a large jar of all natural, non-GMO, gluten-free, old world sliced beets. That's a big jar, way bigger than Nellie's. Is it Nellie's beets that we buy? This is a 32-ounce jar, so fabulous. My husband will love that all summer in his salads. This was on an end cap, showing that it's kind of on a sale or whatever. I don't know about that. But I figure this is probably, and I wouldn't advise anyone to take ibuprofen the way that I have in my life, but 500 tablets is probably good for me until, 9 months from now. So I'm one of the lucky, rare, and whatever you want to call it, that I have used ibuprofen for almost 32 years now for pain. I don't take a lot of it, a couple, 400 milligrams a day. But, yeah, it's the only thing that's ever curbed the pain in my back and feet. So, yeah, $7.98. Could be a sale. I know over-the-counter medications like ibuprofen, Tylenol, and cold medications are going to go up. And we have noticed them going up. NyQuil going up, stuff like that. So whether they have ingredients in them that are going to have taxes on them, or they're coming from a place that, is having weather issues. Decided to get some tuna, so we just have some canned meat. I do eat canned meat. I eat canned salmon, canned tuna, sometimes herring, pickled herring, and all that. I like fish, so this was in vegetable oil. I would rather have had it in water, but it's wild caught, so I haven't had tuna in a long, long, long time, probably 5 years. Kitty had to have some kitty food, so that's still at 88 cents, but it's hard to find. So I don't know if it's just this brand or what. I know they don't have components from overseas, I wouldn't think. But it's Purina, and I know a lot of people are clearing the shelves in the pet aisle. We saw it today, witnessed a whole cart being loaded up. And so somebody had heard something somewhere. But for us, this is good, and we didn't run out of it in 2020 through 2023, so we'll keep the faith that Fancy Feast or Purina Company will keep making our kitties food. Otherwise, we'll figure something out. Comet, that's at Home Depot. They had a bunch of cleaning items, 10 for $10. So all the items were $1, so I'm not really sure what the deal was there. But we just bought 2 Comet, because that's what I clean with. And my husband bought this Mountain Trail mix, because that's just gone up and up and up in price, so we wanted to get that. And that was still at the original price that we paid for it 6 months ago when we bought it. So that was a real big surprise to us. But maybe it's old stock. I don't know. Maybe the things that are in it besides the M&Ms are plentiful in the country. I don't know. It has almonds and cashews and stuff. So that was a pleasant surprise to see that price hadn't changed yet. And we got 2 loaves of bread. The bread that we usually buy for $1.98 was $2.28. And then we just skipped the bread altogether that we used to pay $2.50 for, because that was $2.68 today. Not paying $2.68 for a loaf of bread, even if that's the only kind that is liked in the household. There's alternatives there. The cabbage that we usually buy is the green cabbage was $1.68 a pound last week. It was $1.97 a pound this week. The red cabbage has been generally between $1.70 and $1.90 a pound, and it was $2.19 a pound this week. We bought bananas at 52 cents a pound. We bought a tub of our Country Crock that we always buy, and that had actually gone down about $1, but there's nothing of value in it. It's just something that we've always used. So all total, we got to check out with what you've seen here, and the 2 cabbages, the 2 loaves of bread, and the margarine, it was $209.84. So that's our little stock it up before, inevitably the prices will go up, because since January the prices have gone up. Since midsummer last year the prices have gone up on some of these things. Since Christmas time, when I baked the brown sugars and stuff, they had already gone up. So, and rice, the last time we bought this, it was $1.19 or $1.68, and it's now almost $8. So, yeah, I'm just trying to get this stuff before it goes up next week or the month after the month after. So that is this little grocery haul mixed with my other little grocery haul or whatever else I might put in this video. And then one of my next videos is going to be a garden tour, everything that I bought, the cost of what it bought, and what I hope it produces. So thanks for joining me here. I hope you're all well. Take care, and I'll see you again.